sharing the screen. And then now the best bet, so go to a new tab, yep. And then probably what you could, so there's a few things you could do. Even if at the top on Chrome, you actually have your history, and
Yep.
often you can do reopen all tabs from last session. But what I might get you to do to start with, just type in Basecamp for me. It's the first thing. Yeah, and just click on one of the ones. Yep, that one there. And we'll click on the rapid garden results. And I'll get you to I'll get you to right click on the top one that says latest updates. Right click on the social media website pages. That one there, yeah, just at the top one. Yep, right click on that. Open link in new tab. That one's got all our folders, and then I'll get you to click on, just left click on the checklist again, and we'll work on the checklist again. The top one, it just says if you sorry, the second top one, that you've already done that one. Yep, that one there. Yep, checklist back into there. Just open link in this. The current tab is fine. No, oh, you just open it over the top. This one here. So just left click on the checklist. That one. Yep, that's the one. And then we'll scroll back up to where it starts off by saying planning. So just a little bit higher. Not that yeah, sorry. Lower, 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 lower. Yeah, and down, 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 down. And this is what we're going through today. So
Oh,
stop. You can
yes.
stop there.
Yep.
Yep. And then, but basically, we'll use the same cut and paste. So you'll cut and paste back into this thread. The You could probably close the extra Basecamp one there. Yeah, close that one. But now. Let's go to the write up for the session. So if we go to the Basecamp next to it to the right, and then you can open up these things again. So scrolling up. Yeah, and then here about here. So if you go to start with, if you maybe right click and open the website up, yeah,
That one.
open link in new tab. Just go, yeah. And Serge has said that he's got rid of that filter, so that we should be good to go with that. Maybe right click on the Dropbox, although I'm not sure we're going to necessarily. So next one down, right click there, open link in new tab. And then scroll down, and we'll go right click on the company where it's got company with the asterisks.
The LinkedIn.
Yep. And that's what I was letting Serge know, is that it's all the asterisk ones that we want an icon and the link for. The thing I thought about that we'll want to do, if you can, is actually to add the logo to the page, the website page as well, which hopefully he can do. Then the next one down, we'll go to the Facebook page. You can right click on the Facebook page. Right, yeah, just there. Open link. I'll get you to right click on the business info. Yeah, yeah. And then Instagram. And further down, we'll go to X. And then further down, you can go to your Google Map.
I went into Loxton Wines this morning and I could see the social media at the top of the screen.
Say that again, sorry.
I went into Loxton Wines
Oh,
this
yeah.
morning
Oh,
and
yeah.
I could see all the icons for the social media at the top of the screen.
Yeah, he sent me to say that he'd done that now, so that's good. So
Yeah.
he just said maybe I'll just check the pixel that's in incorrectly um, before I start running any those ads for you. So I'll do that by the end of the week. But yeah, that's good. So he did a good day for us yesterday, and then I think the last. So if you click on the Google My Business up the top, so the map, sorry, the top right, the last tab that you opened, yeah, and then here so that's looking good. It's now got the new cover in there. You can just click on the button that says Manage Your Business Profile. actually, one thing that's you can have a look at is see where. So what I usually do every second month, I report on the performance of the different channels. But here I just click on that one. Yep. So if you go performance, yeah, and what. So this is looking from the whole time, end of the year. What I'm normally reporting on is the last 2 months. So if you scroll, you've had 286 business profiles interactions in the last 5 months, 6 months, and then scroll down a little bit further. Um, Often some of these other ones will be slightly higher. Scroll down a bit more. Scroll down. That's actually something. 324 have viewed the profile. Can I get you actually out of interest? If you go where it says claim this business credit, that may be
Mm.
well worth your while. And so instead of um, uh, with Facebook, we did basically 250, 250. That's the idea with that one. With here, you might just want to do $5 a day Facebook advertising, and potentially do $5 a day Google ads. Now, so what you might have to do is here. It looks like
Yeah, they're all
new
cancelled.
new just where it's got stop sharing, you go hide, click on the hide next to the stop sharing down the bottom there for me. Hide, oh no, not stop sharing, just the hide. Yeah. I
Oh,
can't see your screen now, so back to the red dot, and then
hide.
yeah, back to that Google, which was the far right, I reckon. Far right tab, right, right up the
Now
top,
what have I got?
and far right's the one. And then go new Google account. Yeah. Okay, and what I'd suggest once this loads, yep, I just grab that top URL, just copy the whole lot of it.
See, that's under P Mobile. That one there. It's got a.
Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah,
Uh,
so that's and it's showing your website though, so it's for the right thing. So if you copy the entire URL that says ads.google.com.au,
ads.
at the URL up the top, the website address, the URL ads.
Oh,
The
this one.
HTTPS. Yep,
Oh,
that's
copy all that.
copy that. Probably a lot of it's gobbledygook. Having said that, yep, copy that. I just get you to go the bottom of the next base camp, the one, so the base camp that's second from the left. Next one, that's the third. Yeah, next one over. That's it. And then scroll to the bottom. Um, just type in Google Ads. So click in there, and it's $1,200. So it's not potentially with $1,200. If you're spending that, that could take you a few months to spend. Um, if you just go enter on that, um, what I might do is that, so Google Ads is a different skill, right? So it's actually more an accounting type skill. It's actually, it's keywords and all that sort of stuff. And uh, now I've got some people that can talk to you about that, and how you best spend that. But you might want to talk to Andrew as well, whether he's ever looked at this. But Google Ads for a business like yours would probably
Hmm.
be, for this sort of business, would probably be a good consideration. I mean, even for Loxton Wine, probably. What A guy that I usually recommend people talk to, and he sort of he represents good value. I believe, like myself, for what he does. He's sort of SEO and Google Ads. If you go to LinkedIn up the top, next to the Dropbox up the top there, and in the search, I'll get you to search YOS, YOS space William, and so there he is. Click on there, and we might just do a little where it's got more. I'll get you to click on more for me and scroll down. Sorry, yeah, and this go connect, and we'll write a little note. Add a note, yeah. Just so hi Yos, a
Is it Yoss?
YOS,
YOS. Yeah.
comma, Steve Hubbard suggested that it would be good for us to connect. Full stop. Kind regards, Paul. And yeah, you can just hit send on that. Um, I'll get just close that one there next to yeah. And then just copy Yoss's name, and I'll give you his oh, you can copy the URL, either one. Yep. Uh, and just put that into Basecamp. But I'll give you his contact details just to have a chat with, because as I said, you've got. I suspect you've probably got money that you could spend for both businesses. In after your yeah anyway I'll make the note when I do the write up that
Yeah.
it might be worthwhile, because $1,200 isn't to be sneezed at realistically, and
No.
it's not like some other ones where you need to do an equitable spend. You don't. So I
Mm.
started I think I got $600. Used to be $600 they'd give you, and I think I did that for 3 months, and then I just continued doing it for $3 a day.
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's
that's the
good.
reality, is you use what they're going to give you, and then usually it's worthwhile. And
Yeah.
then as I said, you just keep it at the minimal rate. So a lot of agencies, you're spending thousands per month. The reality is, I think that's, for most small businesses, that's probably an overspend. And the other thing
Yeah.
that often happens with an agency is you give them a grand, they take $400 and then put $600 onto the ad spend, so
Yes.
you
Yeah.
lose your 40% media. Yeah, does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
so with my business with Facebook advertising, it's actually this month basically, because my businesses are mostly spending marginal spend, say like $5 to $10 a day. Um, I actually charge 15% at the end of the financial year.
Yes.
Because usually, they might have spent $1,000 over the whole year. So,
Mm.
as I said, then I'll send a invoice at that time, just so you're aware.
Mm.
But yeah, as I said, that might be worth grabbing for both businesses, because I suspect you'd be eligible for both businesses. All right,
Yeah.
sorry, Andrew. Welcome. Good morning.
Morning. My apologies. I can't even begin to tell you the morning that I've had. So anyway.
All right. Well, that's no good. So, well, it's good to see you that you're here now. We're just I can't recall. The only reason we clicked through it, we just saw that there was an ads credit available to the business. That was all. Then while will still go to YouTube, I think, Paul, and let's
Well,
see
I
whether we can get this YouTube page up today. So if you
well, I
go
need
the
to connect. Click next there.
no, I think for now let's just leave it open. As I said, you've got that
Okay.
URL. It's just so that you could ever go back. You could go back. You can actually
Okay.
close this for now. Or yeah, it doesn't hurt. Just close it, and then and close that dialog box. Yep.
Yep.
Um, and then I'll get you to open a new plus tab on the top right. And we're going to try that YouTube today again. So if you go to the 9 dots on the far right, next to your profile picture, next one down, 9 dots there, yeah. And then click on YouTube. And you're in Loxton. I'll get you to click on the Loxton icon, top
Top.
right, Loxton icon next to the one notification. Use your little icon. It's a pretty,
Oh,
yeah,
there he is.
that's it.
Yeah.
Um, get you to go switch. Actually, probably you can just go settings from here. I think go scroll down. You should be able to, at least, unless it. Yeah, go settings there. Yeah, at the bottom, and then go add or manage your channels. Yeah. I'm going to get you to go create a channel. Okay, here we go. This is how it went last time too. So let's just go. If you want to copy it in, or do you want us just to read it out for you, or
Um,
maybe go to Basecamp? You can copy and
there
paste
we,
if you like. Go far left. Actually, or this one. Scroll up to the top of this one, and you've got there it is. Rapid results for garden and lawn up the top. You're going to copy the actual words. So rapid results for garden and lawn. Yep. But out we don't. This is actually to give the name. That's it. You probably just paste the same thing in there, but get rid of. But before you, yeah. So let's put and in between rapid results for. I know you've got. Well, I was thinking the next one down, the handle. The handle we usually
oh,
have
that one.
and in between garden and lawn. Yep. And then you can put your profile picture in there as well. Select picture, and
That's
then go from your computer. From computer top right. Yep. And upload from your computer. And t-shirt V3, I think, is it? Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading.
Yeah. Excellent. You can go
yep.
done. And once that's loaded, yep. And then you can go create channel. Okay. Now, again, go to the top right. Click on, yep, your Loxton. And then you're going to go switch account. And then you're going to go rapid results. Yep. And then you're going to go customize channel in the middle. Yep. And go continue. And here you're going to upload that cover, the YT version. So there's one that's the next one up. It's got a YT copy. Yep. And go open. Just needs to be big enough. And then maybe here, just grab the corner from the bottom and just bring it up a little bit so we get a little bit more. You might need to scroll it down. For all intents and purposes, I don't know how much better we're going to get this because it only looks good when it's in the full screen mode, which is rarely. So scroll down a bit further. You should be able to grab that bottom corner. Grab the bottom corner a little bit and then bring it up. Yeah, that's it. So then you can get a few more things in the middle. That's all, or even get them. Even if you have the wheel in the middle. Oh, oh yeah, you had it. That's it. Yeah, just get a little bit of each and have the wheel as the central factor. That's all.
Yep.
Okay, and we'll go down there. Okay, and then scrolling down, and I'll just get you to add the. So that's all good. So scroll down a bit further. Oh
It's
yeah,
getting fine
glasses
print
on.
here. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Uh, description. So stop here. So just click in. You've got from yesterday. If you go back to the checklist one. That's the one, and then scroll up where you did the copy and paste. From here, we'll go. Let's start with rapid results for garden and lawn, and then copy all the way down to the hashtags. Keep going, and then a little bit higher, a little bit higher. That's it. And then back to far right tab. Paste in there, and then Careforge. So just scroll down a little bit. I think it's probably too much, but also you will get rid of the links. So yeah, just go shop online or contact us today. You don't need all the contact details because they're going to be on it anyway. So get rid of the visit. You keep a hashtag. Keep the hashtags. Yeah, you should. They should be okay. Yeah, but just get rid of that. Yeah, go back. There you go. All right,
Yep,
nine
all
ninety
that.
six. How good's that? There you go. Let's go publish, and you'll come back into it again. Just go publish, so that it puts that in there.
That's it.
Okay, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit, and then we're going to copy that channel URL on the boxes. Oh, you're all there.
Ah, yep.
Um, and then scroll to the bottom and just paste. Yeah. So I believe you to be a left-hander copy and paster. That's my. Uh, I'm a firm believer that's the case. So you've become a Molly
Nice.
Duker. Let's go far right again, and let's go add these links as well. So you've got add link. You've got them all in your. So you could start off by having Facebook. Just type capital F Facebook, and then you can go to the base camp, which is the third to the left. Yeah, and then you can just copy these as you go down. So scroll down. You got Facebook there, Facebook page. Yep, it's the there. Yep,
Oh, there we are.
yep. Copy link address. Yep. Then far right, paste. Yep. And then add link, Instagram, and then go back to that base camp. And Instagram's next one down. Instagram further down. Yep. Yeah. And then LinkedIn. Yep. Yep. Actually, not that one. I think that's the that might be your personal one. So go to company. That's the one. Yeah, and just scroll down a bit further, and we'll do Google. You can, and then yep, and Google is further down again. Google Map. It's there. And you can do X. Yep. Next one over. Yep. Yeah. And just scroll up one before you hit publish. Just scroll up again and copy the channel, the URL, the YouTube channel URL. Just copy that link again. No, say no, that one. No, stay where you are. The boxes, yeah. So just go the boxes on the right. You can hit publish because that'll save that. But we just want to go back to Google and add to Google the YouTube URL. So click on that one, and then go edit profile, and then scroll down. And then where your social profiles are, just go to the pencil there, and then scroll down, add a social profile, click on that, YouTube, paste, and save. Okay, and then so I don't forget this time. Now you've published that, so far right on the for back to you can close that dialog box if you like, and then go far right again with the tab. Yeah, and that's published by the looks. So scroll down. You probably got to add maybe your email still. I'd say. Yep. So just put the rapid email. And then you can upload the watermark as well. So where it's got watermark, yeah. And just go the V3 up the top. Open and done. And then go entire video for that. Uh, yeah, that's the bottom, third one down. Third one down, just click the button. Yep. And then publish. Okay, and then the last thing to do is just go settings on the left-hand side. Yeah. And we're in Australia, so make it Australian. Not spending any money, but at least they know where we are. Next one down, that's it. And save. And then, okay, and then back to settings and permissions. And move us out the way, me and Andrew, if you move us down, and then invite. And you can start with Andrew's Gmail. And go owner with this one, so it doesn't hurt to actually have two people at the highest level. Oh, actually, well, if it'll let you do that, maybe it won't. You might have to. Andrew might have to have the same secondary access as me, manager, and then same again for Steve at Diffy. Thanks, Paul. DIFY social AL, so AL.com.au. Select and just go save. And it's best we just go and find them. I actually got to verify. This is what we had to do before, so you probably have to get an email or a text. I hope that it's that. And what's this say? Verifying it's you. Complete sign in. What's this say? Sign in with your passkey to google.com. Okay,
Yep.
that worked this time. That's good. So that they must have your look left, look right, look straight must have worked
Yes.
yesterday, I reckon.
I did.
Good. Right, I'm just going to accept that email.
Oh, will that come through to my Gmail address?
That should come to your Gmail, Andrew. Yep.
Okay. Mail.
Yep.
Is there just like an inbox for Gmail? They've got all these other social updates, promotions. Where do you go to just get a normal inbox for Gmail? I don't use it very much. I've got one, but maybe Allmail, is it? Maybe yeah, Allmail. YouTube, there we go.
Mine didn't click the way it normally does. Select a channel. Okay. Looks like I've already accepted. All right.
I'm in the YouTube Studio app now. So.
Yeah. So that's it. So once you click on the button, pretty much it accepts straight away, I think. And then usually an email comes through to say that we've now got management. But anyway, according to mine, I'd have to flick out of. I'm actually in Loxton by the
looks like you're in it. You've accepted, Steve. It's still going pending with Andrew.
Oh. It's I've accepted, so I'm not sure why
Okay. All right. It'll come
Just might
through.
need a refresh.
Yep. Um, all right. Do you want to have one more look just to see if Andrew did hit select? So it often just hit on permissions again. Still saying pending.
Well, that is. Hmm.
Have a look in spam. Oh, you got all
He got it
all
already, I
mail?
think.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I've got it. I've hit accept. So yeah, not sure what's.
Hmm.
The one thing out of interest that you could do is actually invite using the actual business email.
Oh, the
Try.
rapid results. Yeah.
What is that saying then?
Only email addresses with
Yeah.
Google accounts
Oh, it
can be
doesn't. It's
invited.
not being. Can't be invited. Okay. Yep. All
Hmm.
right. So we can't do that.
Okay, now I've got a different message saying that I'm all set. Go to channel. So maybe has that changed?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So maybe just close and
Because
refresh.
I just tried to hit that accept the invitation button again and
Yep.
see what happens. So.
It was interesting with me. It sort of took me and asked me what channel I wanted to go on, and then it told me I'd
Yep.
already accepted, and you're already
Yeah.
in there. Perfect. Okay. So let's close that one. So what we might do here is I'm going to let's do LinkedIn for you just to add the company to you, Paul. But then I might do the next part with Andrew. In terms, I just want to make sure that he's got that on his LinkedIn as well. And because I know he's a bit more active in there, I want to show him something around connecting and that sort of stuff. So we'll start by going to your profile. So if you click on me up the top right, where it's got me, sorry, your profile image next to 17 notifications. That's it, and click on View Profile, and then we're going to scroll down, and we're going to click on Stop there. We're going to click on the pencil. The pencil next to Experience. Yep, and we're just going to go plus, add position, and we're just going to go Founder. Um, and then rapid results. You could do a founder rapid results. You write the actual business found. Actually, no, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's probably all right. Yeah, whether you want to call it self-employed is probably one way to do it. The company now, if you start typing in the company, it should come up. So rapid results.
We're way down the list though. There's quite a
Yeah,
number of
rapid
rapid results.
results for Garden. There it
Yeah.
is, and click on that. Okay, and then scroll down a bit further, get us out of the way. And you probably could just, oh, when did it start?
January 2019.
Location, you can just write Geelong. You don't have to do anything with those other ones. Yep. Geelong, Victoria, Australia. And then scroll down. Location type, you would just say on site. And the description, you could just use the short description that we've got. So if you actually go on to the other base camp, maybe this one here, yep. And then scroll down a little bit to this part here, sorry, at the bottom of the different, just at the bottom of the different socials, a little bit further down, it's got your contact. In between where mine, above my name, it's going to be that, yeah, and you can see the hashtags there. So this part here, rapid results for garden and lawn, bringing life to your garden. That's this sort of mid one. You can go all the way down to the hash. Actually, yeah, I'd at least have the contact details as well, Paul. Hashtags are probably unnecessary in this part. So you copy back to LinkedIn. And then you might just need to, with those scroll up. Sorry, go into that part because I don't often those emojis won't work. Just click your cursor up. Oh, the sunflower
Yeah,
one just became it. So maybe just
sunflower
put your do a
there.
right click and put the sunflower in if you want to maintain it.
Oh, it says
Yeah, it
sunflower.
says sunflower, but it's not going to. So when you post it, it won't post the picture.
Okay. Hmm.
So just right click after the pot plant and then emoji, and then there it is. You just click on it straight away. Yep. And then you get rid of the word sunflower and just or bring the one where it says bringing life to your gut. I click back out of there. Yep. There you go. Done like a right-hander.
Yeah.
Good
There
job.
we go.
And then we can just go save and then go close. Um, and then I'm going to get Andrew. Can I get you to share?
Yep.
Um,
Now, uh, I've actually got the LinkedIn app, so you want me to just share that?
uh,
Yeah.
as in you've got LinkedIn page open already?
No, it's the LinkedIn app on my computer, so
Oh
I
yeah.
can.
So however you
Where's
so if you
the?
go at the bottom, go share. Usually the computer will ask um, tab, window, or entire screen. So you can either go window or tab if you're using the
Yeah, I can do tab. Oh, it's not letting me share though.
yeah, okay. So yeah, so you might need to do it as the
Later.
browser version.
Uh,
Yep.
right.
All right. And then
I can't see what I'm sharing at the moment, but anyway.
uh, looks like you're sharing at the moment. We can see your. That looks like your. So we don't think.
Oh, am I still sharing? No, no.
Yeah, you're not sharing anymore. So
Hang on a minute. Let me find that one. Right.
that's it.
Am I sharing
That's it.
LinkedIn now?
So
Okay.
I'm going
That's
to
my
stop
home.
Paul's screen share, and then we just have yours, so it's a little bit easier for everybody to see. All right. So what I wanted you to do. So did you want to acknowledge that you're doing this on your LinkedIn as well, Andrew?
Yeah,
Yep.
sure. Because
So
I've got what is it, something like 5,000 followers. So
yeah. So that's it. So yeah.
um,
So what I get you to do with your pencil under your cover picture. So there's
yeah. What's that?
sorry, the pencil on the right hand side.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. And then in here, if you scroll down a little bit further, you've got your headline. Sorry, where is it? So, oh, sorry, a bit further up. Here, right. So you've got this help. So what you could then do is put another one of those sticks after your PPM exec,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so do a goalpost. We call them above the backslash. Yep, and then space. What title are we giving Andrew Paul?
Um, we could call him.
Distribution manager.
Yeah, well, that'd be okay. Marketing guru, no marketing manager.
Yeah,
He's doing a lot of the applications for the shows.
yeah.
What
At the
title
moment,
do you think, Andrew?
uh, partner.
Partner.
As a
Yeah,
title for you,
yeah,
Yeah, you
partner.
go partner. Yeah,
partner?
partner at.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, but just partner.
At,
Yeah.
and then we'll write rapid results. Is there any initials we can give him for this, Paul? I
Ah,
think he needs some more.
he needs some more initials behind his name.
Rapid results for garden and lawn.
Yep.
Yeah. So with your and maybe just so with your other ones, you've got in your headline. Does that say MD up the top, or what does it
Uh,
say? Um,
where
sorry,
are
no.
they?
In
Sorry.
your headline, you've actually got what's the first, or is it
Oh,
any
Ned.
D? What's
Ned,
that
and
first word that's there?
no, non-executive director, essentially. Ned.
Non-executive director. Is that for anyone particular, or is that what
No.
the services
Oh
you offer?
well. Yeah, no, I am a NED for the Global Association for Project Professions at the moment. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So can you write that? Could you write Ned for the Global Association of? Blah, 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 blah? Does that make
it's a
sense or
lot.
no?
It's
The
a
reason
lot.
I'm saying is like, what's your? I think you've got another business, right? So that your
Yeah,
your other focus.
the project bureau. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
but
would
so
you?
I'll just sorry, Steve. I'll just stop you. I'll just
Yep.
explain what's happening with my LinkedIn at the moment.
Yep.
So I've recently sort of changed everything. It was the focus has been moving away from the project bureau to focus me on trying to get board roles.
Uh-huh.
So that's where everything is sort of focused at the moment. But
Okay.
I'm more than happy to move that away to start to more focus on rapid results.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got
Whatever.
enough information. So there's enough information as far as you need
Yeah,
it. Like you said, you've already got plenty of connections, so you're not really
yeah,
needing to. So
yeah.
that headline works fine enough for now. You're happy with that?
I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
So let's just leave that then for now. Let's just go save. Up the top, bottom right, yeah, and that then at least has added that in. And then what we'll do, I'll get you to hit on. It's got your contact info underneath that little description on the left hand side. It's got contact info and it says Australia next to it. That's it. And here, so you've already got this title. What you could then do is add in. You could add that other email actually if you wanted to. So, but I think that'll just be a secondary. Um, so you put the website in. So add a website. You could put the rapid results website. Uh,
Business. Yep.
yeah, you could probably add. Do you know with your company executives? Is there anything that has like a feature page, or is that really your LinkedIn?
How do you mean
So
a
you
feature
know
page?
when you're applying. So just so I understand the context of when you take up these positions, you mentioned the organisation. I think is it an organisation that you're part of, and then or that you have to be what do they call it? So I'm a CPM, right? So I'm a certified practicing marketer. So then, is that the same? So you're with your registration. I think that's probably the word. Is there an organisation particularly that you're registered to then do your directorships, for instance?
Yeah, well, I'm certified with a couple of different
Yeah.
project management organisation, professional associations, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe for
um,
maybe for the sake of this, maybe just adding in now the fact that we've got uh, this in here. Maybe that's enough for the sake of this exercise. So that's okay. I just thought I'd wonder whether there's, but I see you've already got. So yeah, it's just adding a secondary website. So that's perfect because you've already got the other one above. So we'll just go save on that for now.
okay.
You might. I wonder whether you've got Australia. So again, I guess when you're based in, it probably doesn't hurt that you've got a more broad address. Then the other thing you can do, Andrew, is actually like Paul, is just add that down in your experience. So you would scroll down and add experience. So you click on that one, add position, and as you said, you just do partner there. Probably the same as what Paul did that as self-employed. So it's really
Yeah.
a, and then if you start typing rapid results, it'll bring it up. Just a quick way to you
All right.
get to, yeah, there you are. And then
Uh,
probably more recent for yourself.
yeah. When was that? Was that last year? When we start to sort of do this ball? Was it late last year? Was it?
Yeah, last year I
Mm,
started.
yeah,
Well,
Was it?
October's a birthday month, so go October.
yeah. No,
October 2024.
24. There we go.
So click on that 24 there, yep. And then
Yeah.
location, you could put your Canberra location perhaps there, or if it's slightly out of
Mm,
Canberra,
don't think Queanbeyan will come. Oh, it does.
Queanbeyan. There you go. And then location type again, you'd probably because you're the
Type, so,
yep. And then description as um, I don't know if you've got Basecamp available to you somewhere, but again,
yep.
you could save that. Um,
Base camps. Now I've got to go. Where was this? Under.
it's
Is it under the discussions
it's
or?
under yeah. So well, actual fact, it was under the social media, the one that social media website details, and
Set up?
so at the
Yep. No, I didn't. Sorry.
underneath it, it's got the
All right. So which one do we want? We want
so just
the
the short one that says. Well, start by just saying
oh, yeah,
rapid results.
Garden
Um,
Lawn.
makes a better
Yeah.
garden, and then it says the 5 tools, and then it says the contact and
Yep.
go online.
No. So you don't want the hashtags at this
Probably don't
stage.
need the
Yeah.
hashtags there. You probably will have to. Yeah, you can put your own number there. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
And then scroll up.
Oh, yeah. Gotta change that.
Just I
Yeah.
suspect you. That's it.
Uh,
Just right click work for you, or maybe not. Does on
oh
some.
no. I use shortcuts.
Oh
Keyboard
yeah,
shortcuts.
you're very good at shortcuts. In
Yeah.
fact, I think you're the most apt shortcutter that I've ever come across.
So
Um,
is that it? That's all we need.
it, yep, and just go save. It my wife, one of the first things that was one of those shortcuts. She's like, "Why are you always doing that? You know, there's Control C and Control V." So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay,
I was thinking with the background image,
yep."
I'm happy to put that rapid results one there. If
I
that's
yeah, I think what with this one. So
yeah.
I think what Paul's done in actual fact, I'm not much. I think what you could do is just replace this image and put something a little bit softer up the top. But Paul's just used one of the ones that was provided. The reason I
Mm,
say that is because and it's worked for you though in terms of your LinkedIn and your connections and all that side of things. Um, but with your personal profile, often it's about using a secondary image rather than using the business because we have bigger lives than just whatever our business is involved in. You're a good example of that, right? So you've got your working career, and Paul's another many hats man, right? So, in
mm,
fact, with
yeah.
Paul, we just used a AI. One of the ones they offered where it's got the beach in the background, so it just helps bring you out of the page.
Right.
You know, but I suspect it's up to you. So if you were to click on, you can see what options are available if you wanted to use one from here. Otherwise, so
Mm.
where it's got edit cover image, if you, yeah, I'm reluctant to say delete. If you do you know how to put this, would you know how to put this back straight away if you needed to?
No clue. I had a marketing employee at the time.
Oh,
He did
someone
all
did
this
it
for me.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to keep it, or you as you said, are you moving away from it?
Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy to move it, like let it go or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So let's just go change photo,
yep. No worries.
and then as I said, um, what you might want to do is you can either use generic, or if you've got something, by way of example, which would be a very big jump for yourself, right? Because of what you've been doing. But
Uh-huh.
often what I say to people, use a secondary image. So for you, it could almost be the hands in the soil. It's the mulch. You could almost
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a
Okay.
secondary. So that could be something you could upload a single photo and just have mulch in the background with it, which would show a distinct move. Otherwise, you can just select one of these ones. Which Paul just used
Yeah.
the
Okay.
uh, y-
Yeah. Okay.
Image.
the wave. So
All right. So
that's
where is that image with the mulch? Is that in the OneDrive? No.
good. Good question. It's in the Dropbox. Um, Oh, you know what you could do now is if you should be able to save it off the website now because Surge has changed the settings. So if you actually go to the website, you should be able to save as, right click save as,
Okay.
if you can find the image, and then you can just upload it from your downloads or wherever you save it to.
Okay, just getting to the website.
Yeah.
The website working all right?
Oh, no,
It's
because you're
not.
only sharing one tab, so we can see your.
No, no,
Like
I'm
you
trying
able
to, I'm
to?
trying to hit,
Are
I'm
you?
trying to hit the URL. It's just not loading. The website's not loading. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. And I'm taking Serge at
Um,
his word. I haven't actually gone in and had a look to make sure it is, but he said it was.
okay. You're talking about highlighting and saving images and that.
Yeah, yeah. So you should now be able to do that, whereas you couldn't do that yesterday.
No, can't do it.
You
Um,
still can't do it?
no, I'm not. Right, I'm right clicking on one of the images in the front there. Nothing's happening. I'm not getting any context menu coming up or anything. So
Yeah, I'm the same actually. I wonder if there's how we what I can do, Andrew, if you go
yeah,
back because I've already downloaded it. What I can do is I'll just send it through to you on the chat in the
yep, it's fine.
let me just see, where is it? Compost garden mulch.
Yeah, I
Here it is.
can't do anything without hitting either.
Yeah, so we'll need to I'll need to reply back to him and say that we still can't get on there. Uh, hang on. So I'm going to go and add that image to you in the chat. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. That should.
Okay. All right. Save image. What do you call that? Mulch. What do you call it? Mulch. Yeah. Mulch. Oh, thank you. Let me. That is upload. I better make sure there's a bit of a hand in that picture, otherwise it just looks like a pile of poo. So.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh yeah. Right.
It'll load. It can be a bit testy.
I'll just refresh. There we go.
Woohoo, there you go. That's good. There's a change. There's an immediate branding change. You know when they say a picture tells 1,000 words or whatever it is.
Yep. Yep.
Right. So let's now the quickest way for you to get back. So just the main reason I wanted to go on your LinkedIn is around this connecting and inviting people to the business. So if you scroll down and you'll get to your where you've added the business now, and the quickest way to get to it is just to click on it. In actual fact, if you probably know if you click on the top version on the top right where it's got rapid results for garden and lawn, you got your icon sitting up the top there. If you click
Yep.
on that, it'll take you down below, I think, and
Yep.
then you click on the icon. If you click on the icon on the left, and that'll take you to the business.
Yep.
One of the opportunities we have on the left-hand side, it's got invite to follow. So on the left-hand side, above settings, bottom left above settings, further down.
Settings. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
So essentially, you get 250 of these every month. For somebody
Yeah.
like you, Paul,
Mm.
Paul didn't have it, but you've got a great opportunity in this one for you, is to
Yeah.
almost determine if and who it's relevant to. Now, I mean,
Yep.
there's an element of like there's plenty of people like to get in the garden, and there's also
Yeah.
plenty of people who know people that want to get into the garden. Now, I know this is probably going to be quite a distinct audience compared to what garden type audience is, but the
Yep.
opportunity is anybody that likes you and wants you to do well in
Mm.
life and in business, it's probably
Yep.
worth inviting them.
Yeah. Well, I've just kind of narrowed that down to ACT at the moment. So
Yeah, exactly. That's a
yeah,
good
'cause
way to do
I've
it.
got all international ones and
Yeah,
whatever. So
perfect. That's exactly right.
yeah.
So I was saying to Paul, um, it's best to almost think of this like they talk about in franchising Olympic rings, right? So you grow out. We conquered Geelong and ACT
Yeah.
first, and then we build
Yep.
it out to Melbourne, into New South Wales, and so on. Yep. So
Yep. No worries.
from a marketing context, that makes the most sense. So
Yep.
um,
No worries.
so
Right.
yep. So that's
So
the opportunity is that you have the calendar month every 30 odd days, you get the
yep.
opportunity to invite up to 250 people. Um,
Yep.
so,
Yeah.
um, so
Used to
yeah,
be
so
100.
so that's what, and that because then what will happen is those people that accept that invite will start to see
Yeah.
the posts, the updates as they go through the company page, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've said this to Paul with the other business, but the way for you to assist you, is that
Mm.
when you're probably a more active user on LinkedIn. So if you're
Mm.
liking and engaging with colleagues and or other businesses, you also engage with the business posts, because then what will happen is Andrew clapped this. And so a certain number of your colleagues will see, or your connections will see that, right? So, but you
Mm.
don't want to only exclusively like and engage with rapid results. You want to be doing that in amongst with other things that you might be liking and engaging with. So it doesn't look
Yep.
like you're literally pushing your own barrow of mulch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Fair
I
enough.
thought that was relatively funny. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
but you don't sell
I'm,
barrows.
I'm laughing inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
uh, I
Yeah.
thought that might be okay given. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's the opportunity of so that's the direct and personal thing that we can do, and it's a very good way of growing, and it makes a massive difference
Yeah.
because LinkedIn, as you probably know, Andrew, LinkedIn's algorithm is much more generous, albeit not heaply generous, but it's more generous than Facebook and Instagrams, and it's a more connected personal audience,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. No,
well,
look, I do this. I do this reasonably regularly with my Project Bureau company page as well. So,
perfect, good
yeah.
man.
So,
Yeah, so that's good. So it's and as I said, it does make a difference, and that's what I'll be then reporting on, how many people are seeing posts and that sort of thing. And by you
no,
bringing in your following, we'll actually
okay.
get people seeing it, whereas it can be a bit harder
Yeah.
work otherwise. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm gonna leave. I reckon we might get you back sharing again. You could probably stop sharing, Andrew, and I'll leave you with that, because that's the main reason I wanted to sort of do that with you.
No
Um,
worries.
but having said that,
Um,
if we the only reason I want to go to the other one is because we'll need to set the meta stuff up with you, Paul. So if we go to you sharing your screen again, that'd be awesome.
I'll just while you guys are yapping, I'll just finish clicking my first 250.
Yeah, no, no, that's right. That's it. I thought I call
I
that.
wish I could do it. You could select all, or all available,
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, the
It's
funny
just
thing
better.
is, you actually can do that on Facebook. So, well, let's just show you that on
Yeah.
Facebook. You're not on Facebook, but if
No,
you
I
go to
don't
the
do Facebook.
Facebook page, Paul, the next one over. So, um, just remember, I don't think we did it, but we probably can do it now. If you move us out the way, Paul, and just scroll down where you can see the three dots. Oh, there's the three dots there. Um, click on that and scroll down on that page. You should be able to invite. Scroll down a bit further. There, invite people to connect. Oh, actually, no, you're on. Sorry, just close that. You're actually not in the profile. You're just in yourself. So, um, invite people to connect. Just close that one. Um, you are in the profile. Oh yeah. So what I'll get you to do is actually go back into Paul profile. So on the top right, I'll get you to go Paul up. So it's the second one down. Yep. That's it.
What happened there?
Oh, it's coming. It'll just be thinking. You might need to refresh the page potentially.
No,
What you could do on the left hand top left, go back screen. You know where the arrow is at the top left. Go back. It might then find the other.
no.
Yeah, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
All right, now we've got it. So give that a like yourself, so you follow your own page. And then this time, if you go to the three dots, um, invite friends. Um, Actually, I think we already did this, didn't we? So I think we may have done this yesterday. So we've invited 26, right? So you can close on the right hand side. You can just close this dialog box, and now we'll just go back into this. So if you top right hand side, let's flick back into rapid results.
Top.
Sorry, you click on your face, and then you're going to jump between go rapid results for garden. So you switch into it. Gee, it's very slow. Okay, good. Now what you could do, remember, we just want to remember it's B2B connections. So some of those B2B ones. So previously what we did was City of Greater Geelong. So in the top right, if you search City of Greater Geelong, top left hand side, the search in Facebook, search Facebook, left,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there.
next to the
Yep.
icon, yeah, yeah, and then just click on that one, and you give them a follow. Now, I think you said that you've got it in other councils. Have you got other councils that are using this that have purchased from you?
Yes, there's a couple of Melbourne ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so maybe
when
what
was
you could do is follow them, but there's nothing to stop you, to be honest, searching and connecting and following with all of the different councils. And so all I would say to you, um, and so this is where again it would be good if you were able to access it, Andrew. But whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or X,
uh
primarily the only way you're going to grow the numbers on the page once we've invited connections is you're going to have to follow other things. So it makes most sense to follow things that help place you in Geelong and in Canberra, and prospects that look like your current clients. So if you've got current clients, City of Greater Geelong, Melbourne councils, any ACT businesses, um, and then media relating to Better Homes and Gardens. For instance, you could maybe put that in Better Homes and Gardens. But I think that's going to be more helpful when we're actually targeting ads. So you give them a follow. But with this business, it's not as easy for me. So what I was able to do for Loxton is invite my 700 connections to, because who doesn't like wine? And I can do that for the gardens, but I just sort of feel like it's not that powerful if it's just Steve. What's Steve's? Clearly Steve's helping another business, but so it's better if you're the ones doing it. But at the same time, at least think about who you should be connecting with here, because it is sort of the homeworky stuff. Is that to get the attention? So it just adds. I'm assuming, Andrew, that you will use if you're, knowing the way I think I know how you're going to do this. So understanding that this is over and above. This is the building the haystack. There's potentially hundreds of thousands of clients in Australia, right? That we can promote to and we can connect B2B, but that's going to add greatest value if you're actually finding out from the local government who is the let's say it's City of Greater Geelong, who's the procurement person for such things that might environmental services or whatever it might well be, that we should be speaking to directly, because that direct and personal contact is a lot more powerful than what we're, when you're
Mm.
connecting with these businesses. Yes, we're going to get their attention, um, but it's a lot longer game. Does that
Yeah.
make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
does. Right.
so in here, so anything that's relevant. So you're already following Worm. So one of the things. So yeah, you can do that on Facebook. Facebook, because we advertise, not quite as um you know. So it's important to do it still. But as I said, the homework is to connect with all those local governments that potentially could be clients, all those other businesses that you think could potentially be clients. But when we're doing the advertising, I still think you're going to try and sell it to people that have their own properties, right? So you're still wanting residential property, or in whether that's in rural or sorry, or city or regional, ACT or Victoria maybe. But yeah, so if we just go to Instagram again, it's that so that Andrew can see. This is best done on the app on the phone. So at the moment, if we again just put in this search underneath home on the left hand side, um, and you just go City of Greater Geelong again. Yeah. So you can give them a follow, and then you look who they're following. And one of the good things is City of Greater Geelong. Have they used any of the rapid results at this stage?
Um, yes,
They have.
yes, they provide a discount
Per-
to residents.
Perfect. So what you can look at who they're following, see how they've got only a minor following, and yet they've got a lot of followers. So if you click on the 116, you pretty much, a lot of these will probably be either government people or other local governments, I'd suspect, or maybe Geelong Cats and that sort of stuff, which is okay because it just helps place you. So I would say the Ballerine Peninsula, anything to do with where you're at, you may well give them a. I think
Mm.
actually they had a
Refresh on.
disproportionate amount of photographers that they're following for some reason.
Yeah.
Um, but that suggests that they maybe had a photographer or a media person help set this up in the first place. Um, so, but yeah, so the idea here with your Instagram and your X, as in not your ex as in Twitter, not your ex as in previous relationships. So go through and look at key partners and see who they're following, and it's a very quick and easy way of going follow, 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 follow. Now I've
Yeah,
done something
yeah,
like that for Loxton. I think with Loxton on X and on Instagram now, you're following about 50 things. It's not a lot, but at the same time, it just gets it so your actual tweets are in some people's feeds.
yeah,
Otherwise, you're just basically tweeting and posting for Google's perspective rather than necessarily people seeing it in the feed. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Because if they're not
You
following
scroll,
you, they're not seeing it.
you scroll back up for a minute, Paul. I thought I saw the Fox family there. So,
Ah,
and the F family. Oh no, it's family Lay. I thought there's got an X in there. I thought it said Fox family there for a minute.
Yep.
What are they doing there?
So,
None of us on there.
yeah, for both of you, Andrew, this is something because with Instagram and with X, you've now got the sign in. It's best to almost, as I said, to be able to do it on your phone with the app. And it's usually downtime. Like really, it's sort of junk time at the end of the day, or
hmm,
you don't really want to use too much brain fuel. And
Yeah.
you maybe, like you said, it's not sort of stuff I recommend that you do as the highest priority, but I do recommend that it's done at some point, even if you're just acquiring or you're following upwards of 50 a month. And I should say, most of my clients don't do it. And I remind them every report that it's a good idea to do it. The
Yep.
reality is, it's a good idea to do it um, uh, on the basis that it just means more people are going to start seeing your post and you get more connections. Um, so, uh, that said, it depends on, as I said, don't let it take away from time where you're actually maybe making money in other areas or doing a lot of my clients. Maybe it's the fact that, well, really, okay, I can make a lot
Mm.
more money if I'm out doing this or meeting or doing whatever it might well be. I
Mm.
suspect, as I said, Andrew, that your best approach, um, given your knowledge and nous around LinkedIn, would be to try and find procurement people in environmental services, in local governments,
Yep.
connect with them, discuss. So usually my strategy around LinkedIn, and you may have a similar one or maybe slightly different, largely without using the gold badge, is that I connect with someone, um, and then, so I just get the
Mm.
connection in the first place. Then
Yep.
I may say, if they're a really important one, I think there might be an opportunity for us to do things together. Um, I'll basically let them know who I am and what I do. But it's always a softly, softly approach, right? So you've got
Yeah.
nothing, um, but as I said, it's at least a two-step process. It's not about connecting with someone and telling them everything I do in the first instance. It's about get the connection first, which you've got a lot of connections, and clearly you could get a lot more connections if you were to focus in this part of the business.
Mm.
And then, as I said, then have a two-step sort of approach. Often when I'm contacting, the interesting thing with local governments for you as well is that when it's the local government that you're actually in. So where do you know what your local government would be, Andrew?
Yeah, it's Queanbeyan and Palorang City
So,
Council.
so
So,
Queanbeyan and Palarang. So what I was doing with, or what I did with Paul previously, is we actually find the economic development people in the council, and we
mm,
actually ask for their advice. Hello,
yep,
Julie, John. I run a
mm,
business in the local jurisdiction.
yep, yep,
It would be good to know what resources are available to someone like
mm,
myself for our business. And by the way, could you tell
mm,
us who if there is a procurement person for the types of products you've got with Rapid Results?
yeah,
Um,
no.
yeah, so
You think
that
I should just call? You think I should call the mayor? Because the mayor used to be a neighbour of ours, and I've got his mobile number. I could
yeah,
probably just
well
ask him.
that's
Was that too high
as you
down?
said. So
Yeah,
that's well, I spent 15 years in local government, so I guess I'm quite
yeah.
militant. And the first local government I was in was in Rockingham in Western Australia, and we had
Oh
almost a
yeah,
dictatorial approach. Our CEO had been there for 28 years.
yep,
Everything, whether it was councillors or
yep,
administration, had to go through the CEO, and
yeah. Okay,
basically that's how it worked. By
all right.
bypassing by going to mayor and others, good
Yep,
approach if you're wanting a political approach, not a
yeah.
great
Okay,
approach if you're then bypassing your business and economic development people. I don't think you can always.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But having
No, that
said
makes
that,
sense.
if you've got a relationship with the mayor, you might
Mm,
start by saying to him, "Hey, who do you reckon I should approach
mm,
around this business that I have? Um,
yep,
am I better to go to your business and economic development people because they always want to
mm,
feel like they're helping, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
and
yeah,
I should
yeah.
then
I could
mention
try that approach. Yeah,
yeah,
cross off.
the next council I went to was from Rockingham to Brimbank Council, who all got sacked and weren't, and we were under, and I left and went and did a marketing degree. But
Yeah.
effectively, back in Rockingham, we had a 5-year asset creation program plan.
Mm,
At Brimbank, it was on the back of a beer, literally on the back of coasters, in terms of
mm,
those
yeah,
sorts of things. And it was a very,
yeah.
it just didn't work because it was basically council
So,
run and the
do you
council
think
was
we
no
should
good.
join? We should follow from here. So, are you able to put in Queanbeyan City Council or
Yeah,
Queanbeyan Palarang? Um, it should come up, I guess, if you put in Queanbeyan. Hmm, maybe I don't have one.
I suspect they would, and it
It's
doesn't even. It probably
usually uh, yeah, hyphen usually hyphen Palarang PEL Palarang.
even if you try writing just with just have a space and just try writing it.
Oh, okay.
or even if you write cancel,
Yeah.
something comes up. There
Oh,
it
there
is.
you go. Oh, yeah, Queanbeyan Council. Yep. Oh, it did come up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then the thing is, you
Yeah.
can follow
Fine.
them, and they're not following anything and doing anything, but would suggest
Mm.
they're not. But at the same time, I did see there was Queanbeyan, there was a soccer club, and blah blah blah, golf course. Those sort of
Mm.
places. Sporting clubs are another one that potentially they have the
I put,
connections to parks and gardens in the council as well.
well,
So
and
that's
they've got sort of gardeners themselves, don't they?
yeah,
There's a
that's
golf
right.
course in there, whatever
So,
they want
so
them. So yeah.
realistically, as I said, to conquer Queanbeyan may well be easier than conquering Geelong. Because he feeds a much bigger place, right? But
Yeah,
effectively, if
that's
you're
right. Yeah.
following everything in Queanbeyan, and this is what I was
Yeah.
saying to sorry, to Paul
Yeah.
before, we try and conquer where we're at first, and then we just keep moving out and out and out, right?
Mm.
So that makes it easier. Um, so um, so that's the same opportunity, and we won't go there, but it's exactly the same thing. You can actually follow exactly the same people if they've got profiles, and depending on how long they've been on, sometimes they'll have an X because Twitter predates Instagram. So Twitter was seen as the thing that was going to be the big one, and then realistically, Facebook brought in Instagram, and Facebook sort of in a way kind of trumps X to a degree around business. But having said that, you can't follow. You know, X does give you the capacity to follow higher profile people. You could. The gardening guy from ABC. I can't think. I can see his face. With the beard and the mo. That sort of.
Costa.
What's his
Costa.
name?
Yeah.
Costa.
Costa.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you could look at the sort of people who are following him or
Mm.
and so again you could be connecting with all his following or who's he's following, right? So and again you could do that on Instagram and you could do that on X. But as I said, I just encourage you to continue to do B2B or relevant B2C connections because it is the only way you'll grow the following on these profiles. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we'll go through
let
that.
let's move from that back to Meta now, which is the next profile across. And then in here, you can just move us out the way back to the bottom, I think. In the middle here, click on the hide next to stop sharing, just so that's not covering any part yet. And then on the left-hand side, let's go add accounts. Yeah, yeah. And what I'll get you in the middle is go add. In the middle, there's a blue, yep, down there. And I'll just go create a new ad account. And then you'll call it maybe 2025 rapid results. Australian time zone. And Aussie dollars. Yep. And next, yep. And your business, yep. And what does that say? Once added, you can't remove, yep. Okay. Do you want to do that now?
Add payment info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We struggled with this on your computer last time. We'll see how we go, eh?
Yeah. Times. Oh, yes, Sydney's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's okay, yeah. So we can go next here.
Payment method.
Maybe put your tax ABN again in up the top where it's got business and tax info. Just go edit there on the right hand side.
ABN. Let's see. ABN. Get there.
Okay, and then did you want to?
Yes. Have got a PayPal account.
I think were we able to sign in? That's the only thing.
All right, I'll use a credit card. It'd be easier.
No, yeah, and just next.
Okay. I am on the phone. Yeah. Coffee, please. Yeah. Thank you.
And
Skinny, skinny latte.
Yeah.
I already had my cup of tea. Rena brought my cup of tea up for me already.
Yeah.
Mm.
51888. Yeah.
Is your wife still failing you, Steve? You haven't got anything yet?
Actually, my wife
No.
is upstairs today, but I haven't heard footsteps on the roof, so I'm not sure if she's
Away
rattling
yet?
around or not.
Uh,
Yeah, so it doesn't like it. Do you want to do what we did last time? And
Yeah. So
do you want if what we probably need to do is because it doesn't for whatever reason your computer doesn't let you add it in, right? So do you want to go back to Meta Business? I think what you just need to do is add us to the have to assign all of us to this one. Yeah, so go assign people and then click on all, select all, and then go full control there at the bottom right. Yeah, click on that toggle and then scroll down if there's any more. I think that's it by the looks, and just go assign and then just go done. And then what I'll do is I'll take share screen off you and I'll see what comes up for me. I think that's the best bit or easiest. Actually, what I might get you to do before I do that, Paul, if you just copy the URL up the top, yeah, copy that URL, just paste it into Basecamp at the bottom. Yep. Is it at the bottom of this one? I think it is. Yep. Scroll to the bottom.
it's the
Actually,
other
just
one.
or is it the bottom of the other one? Actually, yep. Yeah, and then what I'll get you also to do is if you go to the red dot on the far left and just do the same in the chat, and then I'll just take it from there. Yeah, so if you open chat up and just remove us out the way, that's it, and then just paste it into there. I should be able to follow the link. Yeah, and just go send. And I'm going to turn. You can stay there because and just watch the screen because I'll turn you off and then I'll share my screen. I'll just open that up first. Um, okay, yep, that's opened up. Next one, I'll share my screen. Okay, is that coming through? Yep. Um,
Yep.
right, where do we add our? Because then what I'll do is just get you to. Or maybe I'd just go to billing. I don't know, you can assign finance editor. You're okay. I'll go finance editor. I think that um, payment accounts. Can't believe it. Oh, here we are. Add a payment method. All right. Do you just want to do like we did last time and just read it out to me?
518
Sorry, it's Paul. It's Paul.
Paul J. Madden.
J. Actually, this part at least remains used from previous.
Yep.
Yep.
5188
4011
4011 0086
Yeah.
5834
5834. Yeah.
Well, you just select one of the cards that's there. That'll be easier.
Yeah. One of my ones.
Yeah.
0826 and 779.
6. What was it? 779 or
Correct.
779? Okay. Is that so? That all looks okay. 1, yeah, 4, yeah. 0826. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and that's
That works.
yeah. So it works for me for some reason, and not for
The actual card holder.
not for it's very strange. Well, and we worked out that we thought it could be the bank, but then it's just purely from the laptop to the. So I reckon now that I've put that in, maybe although it's tempting to take you off the tools, I'll well, what I probably can take you off the tools for is you know what you can do, Paul, where you've got your the information you've added. So let's give you a break for the rest of the session. You probably because
Okay.
really it sort of just becomes technical stuff, some of it, and I can be asking you questions anyway. If you go back to Basecamp on the checklist, just hit add the comment. So that comment is then at the bottom of the page, and then I can edit it once you've added that comments for what you've done so far.
There it is.
You've done that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll just go and find that, and then I'll be dragging the two across. I think that's probably the easiest. Paul M commented, perfect. All right. Yep. All right, great. So probably the first thing I'll do is if I go to Ads Manager. Okay, and we're not advocating national importance in terms of politics per se. You're closer to the capital than us at least, but that's your ads manager. So I'll just copy and paste that to here. That's where I go into just to create ads. So I'll use that there. The next thing I'll just do is create this pixel for Surge to put behind the website. And I'll just connect that next. Okay. So just grab that link as well. And then we'll set up this meta pixel. How about I send it to Rapid? You can always forward it to Surge.
Okay.
But
Is this to add to the website?
yeah, in actual fact, don't worry, because I think as I said, I'll send everything separate, and
Yeah.
I'll let him know that we still can't copy and paste off the website, and I'll ask that he also add the logo to the website as well. Um, so let me just get the right email. But at least you've got a copy, and I can send it somewhere that if we needed to, we could send it on. Can't find it.
I see with the logo we've got rapid results with capital R, two capitals, but lowercase g and L for garden and lawn. But
Yeah,
the other parts we tend to write it with all capitals.
yeah. I thought that was actually probably on the because the business name is Rapid Results. I thought that the actual for garden and lawn just sort of is a descriptor.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it in the lowercase, so I thought
I
it.
don't mind it.
Yeah,
It just,
yeah,
yeah, that's okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought, and I don't. Yeah, from a let's say from a branding perspective, I don't know that it in the written word, if you then choose on the website at times to have capital G and capital, and you're using title case, then that's okay. I
yeah.
don't, there's probably other things to be considering. Yeah, I think the logo looks pretty. I was pleased with Andrew's handiwork. So yeah, that's the Pixel ID. I'll just drop that. And then he's just gonna put this bit of code behind. Maybe I should um, maybe I should write this stuff for him so that he then knows that's the case.
Mm.
So that actually gives him a better explanation than my throw it behind the website knowledge. Yeah, but it's this that's the code, so I'll put that in here as well. And we can just hit send on that. So you'll get a copy of that. But as I said, I've put that into Basecamp. Um, and then Serge should be able to use that. The next thing that we'll do is just audiences. Have you, I know you're using ChatGPT. Actually, I'll ask the question in a second. I'll just type this up first. 2025 rapid results. I think we'll start Geelong, and I'm going to say Canberra. So, um,
Fine. Yeah.
and this is behind, but yeah. So it's just what's the actual street address in Marloop?
21 Coppards,
I'll just do
Coppards,
Coppard. Okay, Coppard.
Coppards with an S,
Coppards. Yeah.
Road,
Place.
Road,
Oh, road. Sorry.
20, yeah, Coppards Road, Moolap, Moolap.
Let's see if it finds it. Yeah, there it is. Coppards Road, Geelong. That'll be it. So we'll go with that. Um, let's make that a lot bigger. Let's make it 50. Might even take us to the outskirts of Melbourne. That's okay. All right. What's the street address where you're going from?
Uh, it's 11 Patrick Brick Court.
Oh, that's right. Patrick Brick Court. So probably. And what's Queanbeyan, isn't it?
Yeah, Queanbeyan. Yep. Queanbeyan East. I don't know if it'll.
Queanbeyan. It'll.
No, QUEA. QUEA.
All right.
No,
QUEA. Yeah.
QUEA. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what? Queen.
B A
QUEAN.
N BEYAN.
BAN.
That's
Okay,
right.
so it's not going to come up with that. What's If I
Yeah.
spell Queanbeyan there right now, Queanbeyan,
Yeah.
New South
Yep.
Wales.
And
There
then
it
New
is.
South Wales. Yeah.
Well, actually,
There it is.
fake. We could almost go. Where is the showground near you? Within
Yeah.
striking
Well, no,
distance?
no, nothing's too far away. So
Yeah, I was going to
yep.
say. Okay, actually, I
Yeah.
can see Queanbeyan Road. Queanbeyan.
No, no, I don't even know where Queanbeyan Road
Oh,
is.
okay.
So
Let's go with
yeah.
Queanbeyan show. Only because I can
Yep.
probably space this out, as in
Yep.
I can also make this 50. Right. That's my thinking.
Yeah. No
I
worries.
just think that would be an interesting audience to save to start with, just to and then
Mm,
what we did with well, we'll talk about. So we'll create two audiences, but the one I want to use to start with is this one that just really where you're both based. Um,
yep.
Minimum age. Are we likely to have many 18-year-olds purchase it?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So where do you reckon it starts at?
Oh, they're going to be early 20s onwards when they're getting their own home.
That's minimum age.
So
Oh, yeah.
probably mid 20s
Okay,
onwards.
let's go. Yeah, okay, we'll go 25. 25. And then we're going to go right. So what I was going to say, what we did, um, uh, we used ChatGPT a little bit just here to put some prompts in. So let me just see if where I've got ChatGPT. Okay. Um, so what was the first thing for Meta Instagram apps um, promoting? Well, we could probably say the five garden tools, and we'll just put the what those garden tools are. Promoting
Oh, yeah, the compost tumbler, the
five garden tools. Um, Actually, where are they? Oh, yeah. Compost for promoting uh, that can be purchased online. Uh, what are the key suggested uh, demographic interests that should be targeted? Um,
You could. Sorry.
yeah, no, go on. No, give me.
I
Yeah.
was going to say you could probably improve the prompt by telling it that it's an expert marketer with 25 years experience. Um,
That's actually marketing it.
sorry.
But that's marketing for Meta, Facebook, Instagram ads promoting five garden tools, compost tumblers, um, lawn aerators, and that should be targeted. I'm just going to say initially, and then I'll come back. Initially, uh, 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 to Geelong and Canberra audiences by expert or by specialist.
No, not in there. I'd start the prompt
Yeah.
saying that you are an expert marketer with more than 25 years experience. Yep, that's all. She's getting your coffee. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
So,
Meta Facebook ads
yep.
to promote his clients. Um,
Hey, Linda.
And hello to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Did you want me to kiss you?
I got my monster biscuit. No,
Oh, okay.
okay, let's see how we go with this. It's just really to get some of the key words really. Um, okay.
It's put the age range from 30 to 65. So,
Yeah, it's interesting that it put
mm.
a generally. So maybe we could expand that to 30 upwards.
yeah.
Okay, let's. I'll work off that and copy and paste across. So let's go 30, and then essentially the main thing I was wanting to put in here was around. It will do its own. It'll suggest its own. So gardening, which is a massive audience, right? So gardening outdoor activities, yeah. Um, garden design.
Wouldn't really be garden design, though, would it? You think?
Well, I guess
Or,
landscapers,
Landscapers with the rollers,
yeah, that sort of stuff. So,
oh, of course, yeah. Yeah,
aerators.
so
I'm
then,
just thinking of the composters. Yeah.
yeah, so home and garden is a. Oh, is that even writing it in? No. So what I should be able to do. Where are we? Where have we gone here? So now we should be able to go. Where is it? Suggestions. Hey, oh here. Browse. Interests. Usually it lets us. Okay, so I'm going to go lawn care, lawn gardening. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
lawn care I saw was below as well.
There's something for aeration.
Lawn care specialists. She probably.
Might come under that.
What was that one? Aeration. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can try. Yeah, aeration. Lawn. That might be too specific. I have a feeling. Is it lawn mower?
No.
Here we go. Mower gardening. Landscape technician. So realistically, I'm just my sense of these is that mountain is. So you'll see these are global figures. So hence why some of them probably landscape architecture not so much. Lawn technician, but that's very. There's probably a couple of people, and that's it. Garden tool.
Probably be just generally lawn care.
Yeah. Yes. For some reason, it's coming up with some brand. Is that? I wonder whether that's a product.
What, Scott's lawn care?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. All right. Now, I suspect. Let's see if there's anything else on this. Organic garden composting is actually something we didn't put in here.
yeah, Scott's does weed killers and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Just looking up there.
Sustainable gardening. No, he doesn't like that. Um, so actually, one of the things that does come up with like pest weight, pest weight, waste management, pet waste management. What's going on there? Pet waste.
And speaking of, so,
Pet waste.
no.
No. But dog owners is probably one you could own a dog trainer. That's only small though.
Mm. I don't know that the actual target audience for the
Yeah.
pet poo composter would be dog owners, but
Okay. Yeah.
because they're mostly just interested in getting rid of their poo.
Yeah,
So,
true. All right. I suspect this is going to be a monster audience. Um,
Yeah,
right. So, which is 3.4 million, which I've said to, which is be a good way of getting visibility. But that's a massive, a massive haystack. Wonder whether we let's go. I'm going to create it in the first instance, but then I might also create an Advantage Plus one as well and see what it does. Rightio. So let's go edit. About Advantage Plus audiences. No, I don't want to do that. It's interesting. What I might do is actually um, do a narrower audience, which is actually not because what happens is, particularly for Geelong, that takes us up into Melbourne. Um, Maybe in the first instance, I might try and see what a narrow audience looks like if we just do a 10 mile for each of them.
why would we do that? Are we paying for the bigger that haystack you're talking about, or is it?
Yes. Yeah, well,
Uh,
it's more the fact is that as you do, we can get to a 3 million audience, but it might take us 5 years. Whereas
okay.
if we bring it down, so you see that makes a massive difference once we don't have. So it's probably not your business that's the issue. Sorry, your location that's the issue. As I said, it's where Paul is that's more the issue.
Mm,
So this becomes more the audiences I typically try and work with, right? So the haystack's not ridiculously big. So I suspect even with that, let's do them both at 10. I don't think yours is going to make too much difference at 10 or at 20 because clearly it makes enough difference. I think that would be depending on how you want to do it. Because what we did with Loxton is we actually had a narrow audience, which was kind of Geelong and Victoria more focused, and then we went Australia. I think is from what I remember, Paul.
yeah,
Um, so we might want to do the same thing here, is where. Uh, but again, it's even for you in wanting to distribute, Andrew. Do you really want to be going over to Perth? Is it, or would you just ship that off? Is that what you've done in the past,
yeah,
Paul?
yeah.
yeah, most of the shipping off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we ship. So
Yeah.
currently we've got some orders on the Gold Coast to be delivered, and that's one of the reasons Andrew's got a van
Yeah.
to take them there.
Yeah.
mm,
Um, so a lot of the orders come from New South Wales, um, bottom section of Queensland,
Yeah.
and yeah, so we we send we send by Team Global.
Okay. So let's say if this one is a narrow, right? So oh, actually,
I was,
I'll call it 10 mile. So we've got a 50 mile, and then I'm going to create another audience. So we'll have a third audience, which actually goes to the capital cities that you kind of got in mind. So we'll go to um, I'll probably go back to this one. Get rid of that. Is this one? Yeah,
So I
that's
did notice in that area where you shrunk me down, it now misses out on a couple of little towns, reasonably sized sort of towns outside of Queanbeyan that are. There's a lot of new development going up there, house proud people with new gardens and things like that. So
okay. Well, let's
fairly
go back.
favourable.
I'll edit that one in a sec, and then what we'll
Yeah,
just do. So this one clearly doesn't miss out on those towns because it's 50
no, that's
mile.
right. Yeah,
So maybe what we do with this one instead of actually, um, so let's also include capital cities as well, at least on the eastern seaboard. Would you? And do you want to do
yep.
Perth and Adelaide? Or
Yep.
yep. So
Yep.
let's work our way up. Let's go to Sydney first.
Have you ever had annuities from Tassie, Paul?
Yes, I've sent them down there.
Mm,
Sometimes, people always do balk at the shipping cost, but because
yeah,
it's a unique product,
mm,
they usually cave in and
yeah,
and pay. A lot do, some don't because of the shipping cost, but we get inquiries Australia wide.
yep.
That is the answer.
Mm.
Mm.
Does that get
I was
into?
talking to a guy yesterday who might be able to save us some money on freight costs too, Paul. So I'll talk to you about that later
Oh, good.
on. So,
Yeah.
Um, Adelaide. So did you want to add Hobart or Tassie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just put Tasmania.
It's amazing who buys these. I sold a couple to what was he? A supermarket, like an IGA, I think he was.
Yep.
And he had a lot of waste from the vegetables section. So yeah, he was putting them in the compost tumbler.
Um, there we go.
that Perth in Canada, I've actually been there. We were driving in Canada once. We come across this Perth. It was a
Oh,
tiny
have you?
little town.
I've been to Perth in Scotland, and there's
Yes, yeah, been to Perth in Scotland.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live on Glencoe Road in Perth in WA,
Nice,
and so
nice.
yeah, I went to Glencoe and to Perth. I think when I was in Scotland. Um,
Yeah, okay.
all
Glencoe
right.
Valley's beautiful, isn't it?
Uh,
Yeah. Mm.
whereabouts?
The Glencoe Valley in Scotland's
Yeah,
beautiful, isn't it?
yeah.
So yeah, probably one of the most photographed places in Scotland. So
So this one we'll just call Australia,
yeah.
Australia wide.
Mm. Could you have not just put in Australia on that instead of all the capital cities, or
Uh,
does that not work?
but it's just not as again. I could, but it will take us into. Um, it'll just make it again that sort of. It just makes a bigger and bigger. You would take in Alice and every little
Mm.
town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so what do they say? Specific is generally more terrific. I suspect what we could do is given these three audiences. Um, so usually, just for you, Andrew, just so you know,
Mm.
because me and Paul have done it for Loxton. Usually, what I do with these audiences is that
Yeah.
we run and so there's a particular ad that I'll create, which will
Yeah.
probably be like a little animated. It'll probably have the five main pictures, but it'll be an animation. So it'll be like a video that might run for 10 seconds or something along those lines, 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Um, in the body, it will tell people, really what we've been writing in that short about, for better
Yeah.
results. And here's the five main tools to learn more and shop now. Click. And so essentially,
Mm.
by spending $5 a day, if we were just spend $5 a day on awareness alone, we'd probably get 10 to 15,000 people seeing that ad in the news feed every
Yeah.
month.
Okay.
Every month
Oh,
they'd
okay.
see it, right? So by spending $5 a day on traffic, we'll probably get 500 to 600 people clicking through to the just as a slight rule of thumb. I'm just
Yep.
talking, right? So, but essentially, they're the two campaigns that I set up. So, essentially, you set up one campaign, which is awareness, but it's
Mhm.
already got the shop online link in it,
Yep.
and then I just duplicate that campaign and I change the objective to traffic. So essentially, it's the same ad and the same post is trying to do two things. It's trying to get as many feeds as possible, many eyeballs as possible, but at the same time, you're also wanting people to click on the icon. So when you run it for traffic, then the objective is not just eyeballs; it's about getting clicks. If that makes sense.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Okay.
essentially, what we've created now is three audiences. What I suspect we might be best um, doing is running, depending on what sort of budget you wanted to do, Paul. So as well, so whether we wanted to have a similar $10 a day budget as what we have for Loxton, or whether you want to run it as a lesser budget. There's ways we could do it. But the minimum spend usually is $2.50 per campaign. So in other words, as I said, for most of my clients, most are spending a minimum of sort of $5 a day because they're doing $2.50 awareness and they're doing
Yeah.
$2.50 traffic. So one thing that you could do is with the bigger audiences, they could be duplicated in terms of, but you could just run them with awareness, but it would actually have the link in there, but it would just be getting the eyeballs of those people in the first instance. So
Mm.
for that Australia wide and for the Geelong and Canberra, they could be both just running at $2.50 a day awareness only. People
Yeah.
could still click on it, but it'd be running just to get their awareness so they can start to get used to the brand. Um, but on the Geelong Canberra one, you actually do that for um, for awareness and for traffic. That's one option. So the other option might be that for you do again, it's just a budget thing. So maybe Australia wide, I suspect the best way to do that is maybe just awareness in the first instance. If you're sort of wanting to work within a budget up to $10 a day, that's all.
Oh, yeah. I'm comfortable with $10 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so my suggestion, if I copy this one, it pretty much mostly the same. Just copy. Uh, just grab. I'm just going to go back to here. So this one here is that Geelong audience is over three. Is 3.5 to 4 million. This one, this Australia wide is 13 million. So it's very big. Actually, I'll just make sure I copy that part. It's the same interests. It's just a lot bigger.
Mm.
Um, and then our narrow is this one. Where was I? So this one in particular, I think we do 2.5 plus 2.5 um, awareness and traffic. Wait, I wonder whether what we could do, just just thinking out loud, with this audience here, we could just do this one for $2 traffic, because that gets all those little towns you were talking about, and then it does give you into Melbourne, around getting, so that if people, we're trying to get those people that are going to see this, which won't be as many people seeing the ad that are targeted for the traffic. But then what we could do is just to get the brand and start getting the brand out there, do this one and do this one for awareness only. And I should say again, people can still click through to that. But it's just, it's not the objective of this campaign. So effectively,
Yeah.
that would give you $10 a day. It would start getting it out to Australia. The ones you're specifically wanting to click on in the first instance are likely to be within your bigger regions. So, in other words, where you're actually based. Um, but then what you could do, or we could do over time, is then we would include, we may swap to include traffic in the future. And in fact, we might even take it off here. So we might in the future make it so that instead of having traffic coming from there, we could include traffic later. That's all I'm thinking.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
uh, Later. So once we've sort of got some intel as to how it, once I've done in 6 weeks' time, when we sort of doing a report on how's the ad performing, I'll then have a better understanding of, oh, okay, this traffic that's coming from this seems to be getting quite good click through on this Geelong Canberra, which would, and if it's better than the click through on the narrow audience, which is your 10 mile, then we might be better off moving from the 10 mile and having traffic for Australia wide. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah,
But
we'll
yeah,
just monitor as we go with both.
yeah,
See and
yeah,
where we get the results from.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing to look at. So that's our ad. I'll create that ad this week, and I'll let you know when it's posted. And usually I do it as the first post, which is what I did with Loxton. Um, so the last thing to have a look at is if I go up to here, is just a schedule of what we might post out. So usually my go-to on day one is the homepage, right? So again, hopefully he'll update. So there's plenty of snippets. So what these posts look like, Andrew, is that,
Yep.
essentially it could be as simple as saying, care for your lawn, plants, and flowers with our garden products you simply must have. And then there would be an image of those products, for instance, to buy online now. Whereas, this special offer for Geelong would be a different post again, right? So,
Yep.
and yeah, so essentially then we get into, but then this other stuff is actually different, which I don't know that you find this elsewhere. So there's probably, actually, I don't know how this website may well be that all the information is on here. You know, it's a very actually that does click through, right? So anyway, the first thing would be home, which is more your overview information, is what I'm thinking. Then you've got your actual products themselves. So if I go back, so you've got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key products.
Yeah.
Um, Uh, so essentially, this, I think what we decided the other day is maybe this is Fridays is probably products. In a perfect world, I'd love it if we were getting reviews. So if we can use that review link in future, so any Google reviews, that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
is a really good thing to be posting. And it's, if you've, I've got businesses that may have only had 12, but if I'm constantly just pushing them out, it's other people saying how awesome their business is. It's quite handy for you, right? Because then you're sharing that review across all your channels. So if you can get Google reviews in future using that review link, that would be brilliant. And then,
Okay.
and then I think the opportunity that you have on the other page, oops, which not there. Where is it? Where was I? Um, Not sure where it went. I'll reopen it. Oh, there it is over there. I can see it now. Right. So then the other thing, so I wouldn't ever post about refund and return policy. I don't think. I doubt that's the sexiest stuff. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah,
I don't think people are going to be too worried about that. Instructions. So instructions is interesting because that's different to instructions. Is really about how you use it, is it?
yes, how you use it and how to set it up.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this could potentially be a how to assemble and it'd be good actually. This is probably another one of those things like we spoke before around where you could do with a little bit of terminology here of actually what am I looking at.
Yeah,
You probably just something under here that just says to assemble your to assemble your tumbler, start by consider the pictures below, or even if as simple as that. Um, but each of these, okay, so this one actually does have, quite specific. Yeah,
yeah.
they still can't. I still can't copy or get that. So, but essentially, all of these.
Oh, there's a PDF a bit lower, I think you'll find.
Oh, was it on the yellow one?
Yeah, no, that one's
Oh,
not
that one.
instructions. I think the next one.
Yeah.
So you've got to click down. Is there? I think you download it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, just screw. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're there.
It's on there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's instructions. So the other thing is that these articles. Do you know how many? So it's just the three articles,
yeah,
but they're sort of the. Oh, sorry. Where am I going? Uh, so essentially, that's what I was thinking. Um, you've got these articles. Products. Probably this one. Maybe maybe that's where that would go. Because with the products, you've actually go from the products, but then you actually got in instructions as well.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's probably where I'd lean to. Now you don't have a lot of articles, but the thing is, maybe you don't need too many articles because the reality, I can always do additional photos. Um, or actually, there's already a few photos on this page, right?
yeah.
So essentially, these articles, I can just drip feed elements of them, you know. So you could almost, the first part of this posting about this article would be the problem. The second part might be, that talk about the solution, so then you take them to read more,
Mm.
so then you're trying to get them to this thing. But having said that, I'd go from one article to the next, and you got three, but then I'd keep going down the page potentially. Actually, well, maybe I'd start with do the pet poo article, for instance, and then once I get to the bottom of the pet poo article, then I'd do the next article. Maybe that's the
Mm.
better way to do it. But anyway, articles was what I'd probably do on the Wednesday, I reckon. So I think that's um, yeah, how do you how do you feel about that sort of rollout around posting every second day?
Mm. Yeah,
Any comments, thoughts?
that's okay. That's good. We want to
Right.
have it rolling so that people, yeah, perhaps will comment.
Yeah,
Yes, it is a big
yeah,
problem, and both with compost and don't so much. I don't so much of the pet poo
yeah,
ones, but it, people might be looking at the other ones, the whole issue of composting.
yeah,
Um, yeah, digging a hole. Well, yeah, I try to make that a bit humorous. Basically, it's a hole in the ground, but it works, and I just keep shifting along. I do it in my lawn now, so then I just keep moving along, and then I cut one piece of the lawn out and put that over the top of the other. So I'm not going into landfill.
Yep.
The only comment I would have with where we're trying to focus things,
Yep.
and I think Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, was that the lawn aerators were the most profitable product for us.
Yes,
Was that,
and the
yeah,
rollers because they
the
don't
rollers
require
and
much physical
yeah, assembling and whatever. So yeah,
construction by us. Yes.
yeah,
So, well, that's a
um,
good point. If you, I can always do, I can always, do as recognizing that when they're going in the feed, if it's not being advertised, your amount of eyeballs on this organic post is only a small percentage of the people that are following you. So at the
Yeah.
moment on this particular page, there's probably us three following it and very few others. By running the awareness ads and the traffic, um, if people engage with that post, in other words, if they give it a like or a heart, then they can be invited to follow the page, and then hopefully they will do that, and then they'll start to see some of the organic posts. But that's effectively going to be the main way that you're going to start to get people following and seeing the day to day information. Most of
Yes.
the people are going to see the running ad, which is going to but maybe um, the way I should think about the running ad is that the first image that we should start with, I think you said aerator is probably your first. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
Aerator, roller. They're easy to do.
yeah,
They're very cost effective to freight
yeah,
due to their size.
yeah. So aerator, roller, composter, or what's next? What would you say would be the
Then a
yeah,
compost
in the
tumbler.
composter, yeah,
compost? There's two other things. What are the other two things? Is there?
pet poo composter.
Oh, still. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you've got the compost tumbler would be
Oh,
the
yeah.
third one, and then the compost tumbler, and then the
Yeah.
pet poo composter, and then the um,
Then we have tree surrounds.
Other tree surrounds. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
that's pet poo composter.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's okay. I'll know that. I'll put it there
Yeah.
anyway. It's just in terms of what I'm thinking. If I'm doing a slide, if I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
good to know if we've got if the aerator is our number one, and our roller, and then into compost and tree surrounds. It's kind of a good
Mm,
thing for me to
Yeah.
know in terms of um, how, particularly around visually, how things might look a little bit. Um,
yep.
yeah. All right. Great stuff. So I might come back to the screen. I'll stop sharing on there and say, well done. I'll my intent would be to, as I said, usually um, I try and create the first post is almost the advertised post. Andrew, whenever I do a post, I don't just create it in the ad, because most of my clients are like, well, where do I find the bloody post? So I usually post it so people can see it. I pin it
Mm,
to the top of the page where it's possible to do that. And then that's the one that I promote. And so I know you've not used a lot of Facebook, so that's not necessarily going to mean that much, but it's handier when you're looking that you can actually find it.
mm,
And then as I said, from Monday, then I'd be just going into that schedule realistically. Um,
mm,
you've got enough content if I'm able to copy text and paste and get images off. I think that will be okay. So I'll do the write up from today, just reminding a couple of things that you can help do. Um, you can always, if you've got any questions or feedback, always reply. It's best to sort of reply to that email that comes through, which I think you already did when we first set it up. So that way it keeps everything in the project thread, and then we're all across it. Um, but
mm.
yeah, realistically,
What about print media? It's I mean, Paul's got some brochures and that at the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, do we just stick with that?
If you've
Is
got
there
print
anything else?
media, so Often people are, you can always, if you've got print stuff or you've got brochures and stuff, you can always send that to me. It typically what works well on print or signage and that sort of stuff is works kind of poorly on social media because it kind of reeks of in the news feed, particularly say the true socials, let's say Facebook and Instagram, or even LinkedIn. To be fair, as soon as you put a print media, it kind of reeks of selling, and we don't necessarily
Mm,
want to see selling in our
mm.
news feed, right?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Fair enough.
so what we got to try and do is, I don't know what the best word is, but it's kind of soft selling. Realistically, we want you to be
Mm,
educated about why you should use our garden products and to want to
mm,
explore it. And then, on the website, by all means, you could potentially have, if there's the latest flyer, you could potentially put that on there because by the time they've come to the website, they're expecting probably to be sold with. But even from a Google perspective, if you've got a particular offer on something like you do with, say, the Geelong local pickup, you're better off putting that in. So that sort of crunches in the algorithm, and you know, Google then knows that this is what you offer, this is what the products, the cost, and all that sort of stuff. You're always better to actually put the words in the website itself rather than on a PDF document, which is treated not very well by Google, for instance. So yeah, try and avoid that in general. But yeah, so I often sort of the beauty of so my background was sport and recreation. So initially, I was explaining, say, for sporting club, for instance, you know, it's almost taking a photo of that A-frame that sits out the front. New players welcome. You have the
Yeah,
photo of the club and some few participants behind, and yes, you can have that A-frame sign in the photo. Um, but then you post it across your social media, and you could even promote it to the new members that you're wanting to attract. And I think that, and that's why you with your vehicle signage, that'll be an excellent thing to actually share across the social medias, but actually have front and center on the website as well. So you'd want to explain, you'd have a photo of the vehicle, we distribute Australia wide, uh, including from our site in Queanbeyan, ACT. So make sure what's important for me is always that any content that you've got, you think website first because then the social media guy can distribute that through all the social media sites. But all your content is best placed on your website using a model that we used. It's so that,
Yep.
um,
Yep. Fair enough.
yeah,
No.
yeah. So that's going to be good. Once you've got that signed, that's going to be a real asset, not just offline. I think that'll be quite an asset. You might even choose to use that as the cover image on your socials once that van is up and signed.
If I can ever get a Canberra tradie to do anything, yeah, even send me a quote is hard. So,
See how you
so
go. Yeah. Well, fair
yeah,
uh,
enough.
we
shocking.
haven't dealt with Publa.
Publer.
Do we
Oh yeah.
cover
So I sent an
any of
invite through there. So realistically, yeah, you if you want to just see what all that the public, do you want to share your screen one last time, and I'll show you that so that Andrew then knows what that is. Publer is really the scheduling tool that I use, Andrew, just to do the posts. Um, if you Are you going to share your screen, Paul? Yep. Is Paul moving? I think he might have frozen and gone out. Are you moving, Andrew? Can you hear me, or is it me?
I assume you'll join again. Oh, there
Oh,
he is.
there we are. So it was actually, it
Yeah,
looks like it was my end, was it? Could you hear
yeah.
me?
yeah. No, we were
Uh,
fine. Yeah,
You were both fine. Well, there you go. It was me. I'm
oh,
sorry.
we're
yeah.
just looking for this
He's looking for
Publa.
Pablo at the moment.
Yeah, just go to the next one over. So the next base camp to the right. If you scroll up in this, just about here. Yep.
There he is. Yep.
If you
Yeah,
right
there it is.
click on that, Now, for you, you've kind of been invited for two things now. So if you click on that tab, it'd be interesting to see which one brings up for you because you've got two now, Paul. You're probably going to need to
Yeah,
log out, I would suggest. So if you click on that one,
this doesn't seem to be loading on my end.
the tab
Yeah,
open, but
just,
like you said, the wheel's going round and round.
Yeah. Hmm.
How about we go the other way, and I'll share from my
yeah,
end. So you have an invite. So I'll take your share off again. Just go back to that screen. Um, and so what I have done now is for Rapid. So this is what Publer looks like. Um, oh, I'm already in there. It's interesting. Where's I thought I'd added the little logo for that. Rapid 25 square. I reckon that's it. Open. Okay. Um, so what I've done is invited. So one of you, maybe yourself, Andrew, you should
yep.
have received an invite to the to join Publer using
I
the
know.
generic email.
Okay. When was that? Just
Uh,
now, or
just I can resend it now if you like. I'll resend this second. Yeah, so there you go. So that
so?
was
This is on the
just to
rapid
the
results
Rapid.
email.
Yeah, that's it. S-
Mm, Still waiting.
Still waiting. I've actually got someone jumping on this call in 7 minutes to
Right. Okay.
so just but just so you know, if that shouldn't take too long to come through. What I was suggesting, um,
Mm-hmm.
if you need to sign in, I often suggest use the same password as we used for Instagram.
Sorry, I've just found. I've just seen
Just
your
found it.
older, the first one. Yep. So
Yep. So
Pablo.
just
All right.
accept that. If it asks you,
So is that the what do I log in with the rapid email address or?
yeah, so use it's come to the Rapid email address, log in.
Yep. What's the password?
Um, well, you create your own password. So I'll put it into the chat. This is the password we used for X and
Yeah,
others.
because
So
this is a welcome back. I've got a welcome back email thinger. So I'm logging in.
I wonder,
So I've got,
have you tried signing in previously, Paul, already?
I did, yes.
So
Well, for under locks and mines,
for Loxton you have, but not for this one, right?
not for this one. Right.
No, if it's saying welcome back. So um,
oh, okay, yeah, because it's well now when I click that, when I click the password and the thing on password, it said you've got a pending activation. So I don't know what's going on. Um, so I try to accept the app activation or the application. Invitation provided. Invitation token provided is not valid. So maybe it expired. Maybe I'll wait for this other email, the new one, to come through then.
See what I've got here.
But it's not coming through.
People are logged in.
yeah, so
No, it's not coming.
you've got because it's two separate logins, Paul. So you've got to log in with password for the other one, and you've got to. But you've been invited to both. Have you accepted the invite? You did log in on the other one, right? So let me just see that you've
Yeah,
actually got access on the other one.
I did. Yeah, it's not sort of. Where am I?
So normally, what you'd get it is a bit of a process. Basically, I think you need to sign up for it in the first instance. Um,
Okay, I've got the new invitation. So
yep. Try again.
full name.
Yep.
Is the rapid results
Yeah,
email
just put
address or
rapid
what?
results in is fine, and then so just put as your name rapid results. Um, yeah, I can see you've accepted Loxton Wines, Paul.
I'll just use that same password. What is that?
Just use the same password. I copied and pasted into the chat
Yeah,
on
got that. Yeah.
Weber. Yep, and that
I
way,
agree to.
Paul, if you wanted to, you could also sign in using that email and password. So it's just a shared thing.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the sake of it, it's just the tool that I use. But what you will be able to see, I've done nothing in there at the moment. But if
Mhm.
I was to very quickly share my screen with the last 2 minutes,
Okay.
let's do this. So
Yep.
effectively, what I do, I'm in. Actually, I'll get. It doesn't really matter that I'm in Loxton, perhaps. In fact, so you'll see something similar like to this if you were to go into this part down here, the social accounts.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. I can see
so,
that. Hmm.
but then when I'm going to create, so at the moment I actually have already scheduled. This will show me what's been published so far for Loxton Wines.
Hmm.
Um, and if I just look at Facebook alone, it also shows me what's to be scheduled. So if you wish to, you could actually see what's upcoming.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
No. Worries.
um, I would say that less than 1% of my clients would do that, but it is an option if you ever wish to.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Got it.
but it's just if you wanted to see what's been scheduled. I usually schedule on a Monday for the week ahead. So basically,
Yeah. Okay.
there's usually going to be 3 or 4 posts sitting in there for the next Monday a week
Okay.
ahead. So
Yep.
that is that. So yeah,
All
so
right.
basically, Paul, so for you, Paul, what that would mean is you would, if you want to go into Loxton, you would use you actually, I think you set that up using your Paul. We used your,
Yeah. Paul Madden.
yeah, not the other one. For
No.
for this one, you'd use the shared email that you both have
Yeah.
access to, and just use the password. So you just have to log out of one and log in with the other. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I
All
said,
right.
it's very rare. I would suggest it would be better if you would just be looking at what's being posted, perhaps at, when and if you can on the other social channels. And yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
anytime you got any feedback, just let me know.
Right. That's
Hey.
great. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate
All
all
right.
that hard work you've done.
That's
So
it. Appreciate
head,
it.
my head's spinning. I suppose Andrew's is too. So,
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's
right.
actually well, at least between three of us, there's less heads to spin, or there's more heads to
Yeah.
spin.
That's
So
right.
maybe there's
More heads to
less
spin. Yeah.
spinning.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
good. And well done again on a
all
lot of heavy lifting that you did for us, Paul. So that
right.
was good. We got through, to be honest,
Yeah.
both of those sessions we've done really well to get through all the things and very few
Yeah.
issues or things to deal with. So well done.
All right. Thanks for that.
All right.
All right. Have a
All right.
good day.
Have a
Thanks,
great week
Steve.
and yeah,
Okay.
weekend. Cheers.
All right.
Yep. Good.
Bye.
See
Bye.
you now.